Good morning, everybody. This is Vince with Listings to Leads, and it's Monday. And we're going to talk about getting started, how to get started with Listings to Leads. So before we do get started, though, I see a bunch of new people here, which is great. But I'd like to, if you wouldn't mind, in the chat panel, let me know how long you've been with us. And how did you find us? Was it your coach? Was it your office? Was just a Google search? And if you can, what are you looking for? What are you seeking and working with Listings to Leads? So before we, if you can put that answer in the chat panel, it'd be great. Before we get started, I just want you to know what we do. So obviously we're an advertising platform for real estate. Realtors use us, teams use us. We have discounted deals for teams and offices. We have a platform for lenders, and even title officers can use our system as well. But it's really has been designed for realtors to market and also to capture leads. We're very strong at capturing leads. We do a lot of that through social media. We also have some really powerful print tools. We have tools to help you work inside your CRM, and just a lot of things to capture leads. I think one of the things that you'll often see or hear is that there's just so much, it's overwhelming. So today, what we're going to talk about is how you set it up, how you turn on the automation, and what are the top tools to use to get buyers or get sellers. Okay, so let me ask this question one more time because I don't see a response. Can everybody hear me, and can they see my screen? And if you put it in the GoToMeeting chat panel, I would appreciate it. Otherwise, I gotta find out what's wrong here. And that means I'm getting messages from, so I don't know. Okay, looks like maybe something's happening. Thanks, Mike. Okay, so let's get into it. So this is Listings to Leads. You can all log into your account. Thank you, Laura. So the first thing is we do a lot regarding social media. I mentioned this earlier, but you need to make sure and connect it right off the bat. Now right now we're on the Get Started page, and you can do a lot of connections there, but actually I just want to take you to the profile because I think it's all kind of really straightforward to me, more on the profile. So there's one section here, it says auto posting. And I want to make sure that each and every one of you go to your profile, go to auto posting, and connect as yourself, okay? And when you do that, like I'm going to click here on LinkedIn, somehow it got disconnected. And when I do that, you just sign in, it in the background sort of does a connection, and then it brings you right back to Listings to Leads, okay? And you can also connect Instagram, even if you don't. I just want to recommend, even if you don't use Twitter and LinkedIn, when we auto post your listings, you see this here, this will be a blank box when you come here. It'll be just blank, right? You need to click this green button and that pastes that information here. But I want to point out these hashtags. These hashtags have the pound symbol in front of them. Pound real estate, hashtag real estate, realty, house hunting. These are all really popular hashtags on Instagram and on LinkedIn. And so what that means is even if you got like 3 friends on Twitter, there are a lot of people following real estate. So if you're putting this on your post, more people are going to see it. I'll show you what it looks like later when we go into the listing side so you can see what these look like. But you definitely want to turn on social media auto posting. Okay. Over here, we've got the CRM integration, right? And you'll see we've got a lot of APIs from some of the top CRMs, but you can also just right here put in an email address for, you might have a CRM that's not on that list. And those CRMs typically give you a unique email address just for you. And any lead that you send there, they drop in the CRM and you're good to go, right? So that's where that goes. So you want to connect your CRM so your leads go automatically in the CRM. We're also going to email them to you, but you want to set up your auto posting. And then there's one other thing I always like to talk about, and that's lead links. And lead links are over on the left. They're not on the profile anymore. And you notice that I have some links like Cerritos Homes for Sale pointing to my website, Lafayette Homes for Sale pointing to my website. And if I have these boxes checked, these become default links for my for all my tools, and I'll show you what that looks like in a second. But when you sign up, you definitely want to make sure you're taking advantage of lead links, and I'll show you why in just a moment. Okay, so now let's go over to the listing side. And your listing should auto flow into the system like this, right? So you see the address. You can edit these here if you want to add an open house. If your MLS doesn't deliver the price change, you can do that as well. But once it's in there, click on market listing, okay? And you'll see a number of tools here, and we actually have them ranked on their importance. At the top of the list are the most important things to do. And you definitely want to go all the way down to the e-flyer for your database. Now, single property websites and virtual tours are great, and I definitely recommend using them. But just in terms of like capturing volume of leads, starting on Facebook and going down to e-flyer your database, you got to do that. And you got to do that when a home is coming soon or just listed, maybe when it's open house. If you hold an open house, definitely then. And then also when it's sold, okay? Now, when we clicked on market listing, it brought us to the first section, which is Facebook ads. And this is the most powerful way of capturing buyer leads in online, is on Facebook. It is today the most effective way. And just to show you how it works, all you got to do is click create an ad, okay? If you have ever run ads on Facebook, you might know there are 3 pages of weird stuff that you got to click on to make an ad work properly. And that's not always an easy thing to do. And even if you knew how to do it 3 months ago, I guarantee you Facebook is going to look different now, right? And things are always changing there because they're testing, they're innovator, and that's just how it is. So here we have Facebook software behind this page. And we have checked all the boxes that you need to check. So we just make it really easy, right? All you got to do is click create an ad. All right. Great way of getting buyer leads. I will point out, if you click advanced options, you could change something, right? This is the text that's going to be on the ad here. But you could go right here and say, hey, great schools. And because we don't know that, we're not seeing that in the description. And when you type it there, it shows up over here. So you want to kind of add those elements if needed, and then just go down here and click publish. Okay. Now you'll notice I haven't talked about all these other boxes here. And that's because it's not necessary. We've automated this. If you want to sort of dig around and do stuff, fine. But if you want a successful ad, all you need to do is click publish if you're looking for buyers. Okay. Adding that detail like great schools or new converted kitchen or whatever, you know, selling points, you use them in your ad, right? So that's a Facebook ad. I want to point out ours is sponsored by Listings to Leads because I work with Listings to Leads. Yours is sponsored by your business page. So this ad is going to show up on the news feed. And I'm going to just show you very quickly. It's not going to show up on your business page. Okay. This is my news feed, right? And this is going to have all kinds of, oh, that's cool. It's going to have all kinds of random stuff, your friends and stuff like that. Of course, what they're eating, you get all that stuff. But at some point, you're going to get an ad, okay? And that ad's going to show up right here. And this ad that we're creating here is going to show up right there. So it doesn't show up on your business page. It shows up on the target. It shows up on the feed, this feed right here, of the people you're targeting, okay? And it's going to say it's sponsored by your business page, and it's going to say whatever it says on that ad. That's how you create it, and that's going to be great in terms of capturing leads. Now, social media posts are different. This is the auto posting that I mentioned, right? And the tool that we're posting in this case, because it's an early stage, it's a buyer, we're looking for buyers at an open house. This is what we call a listing landing page, okay? Every one of your listings has one of these created automatically. When you click on this button, continue with Facebook, you'll notice it's fairly high level. There's not a lot of detail here. If you want the details, you click that button, the page whips around and says thank you from you to the person. Then it goes and drops them on the single property website that we created automatically for you, right? I now, as the agent, have the contact information, the name and email of any person that clicked on that, okay? So that's a great tool. We email that tool to you automatically. You can open it in your email and share it to your favorite social media. But remember, a few minutes ago, I told you you got to connect to your social media on the social media auto posting. Well, this, as you can see here, was auto posted on the 1st of November, right? On Facebook, Twitter, and LinkedIn. And if you just want to click on LinkedIn or any of those buttons, we're going to take you right to the automated post, okay? And let's just look at it here, right? So this is on LinkedIn. It's going to go on my feed. Everybody who's like friends with me will see it. And it's got emojis, it's got hashtags. If you're putting something on social media, you should always put emojis and hashtags, especially if it's on LinkedIn or Twitter, because hashtags are indexed, right? So more eyeballs. But more important than that is if anybody clicks on this, it drives them to our automated landing page. And as you now know, this captures leads and delivers them to you. So that's social media auto posting, right? We also have a cool tool for the seller's social media, right? So this is kind of weird, so bear with me a little bit. This is something that we email to you. You got to forward it to your client. Just give them what they need and call them for 5 seconds and say, hey, we got an open house, or we just listed your home. We want as many people to see this as possible. Would you take this tool that I just sent you and would you put it on your Facebook wall, right? So here's what's going on. It's pre-written. What we're looking at here, it says we're having an open house on Saturday. You at your office is doing a lot of marketing. Please share with anybody, right? And of course, if you click on this, it's going to take us to some place that's going to convey information and capture leads, right? So you definitely want to use that. And there's another reason, just so you know, this is not the way of getting the most amount of buyer leads, right? The most amount of buyer leads are going to happen from your Facebook ads that I showed you up here on the left. But these leads are coming from your seller sphere of influence. You know, who is, your client is connected with people that they work with their relatives, with their family, and they're now sharing that you are their realtor. This is the same group of people that you're probably hoping you get referrals from. So you definitely want to use this tool when you have it just listed, open house, and definitely when it's sold, okay? The other thing is there's an e-flyer. We email this to you. You can send this to the homeowner as well. Not as effective as the social media for the seller, but same kind of concept, right? Here's a home. They're sharing it with their friends, and they're going to know that you are their realtor. Now, here is a nearby homeowner letter, and this is the #1 tool for capturing listing leads that turn into listing contracts, okay? So we've got a lot of ways of capturing seller leads, but this is the top way if you want to convert those leads into business. The leads that come from here are the best. Now, all you do is you download this and you get it into the market. You can mail it, you can stuff envelopes yourself, you can find another printer who can do that for you. But this letter, let me just show it to you, it's very simple. It's not like super sexy, right? It's like, we got an open house this weekend. Take this physical piece of paper to your own computer and go find out about it right there, Claremont Living. But it says when that's sold, it's going to affect your home value. So you get your free home value here, by typing in that web address. And that takes them to a landing page for instant home value that each of you have in your own account. Okay. And this, I just want to kind of pause here a moment, because this landing page or landing pages like this have been in the real estate advertising market for at least 5 years. And a lot of realtors still think that taking this and running an ad on Facebook is the best way of getting listing leads. Now, had we been talking 3 or 4 years ago, I would have been telling you that myself. But a lot has changed on Facebook. And running home valuation ads is not the most effective way of getting listing leads that convert into listing contracts. This letter is the most effective way, okay? It doesn't have anything to do with the internet. You're targeting who is going to see it, and that's what's going to work for you. Now, I'm going to take us over to the Mastermind Group real quick, and I could tell you a bunch of names, but I'm going to just go through one and tell you, you need to look at this. You need to get in our Mastermind Group. If you're not in it, take the use the support page in your listings to leads account and ask them to get you in the group. And look for this guy's name, Chris Winstead. Chris did a great deal here. He moved to San Antonio, Texas last summer from out of state, right? So he's a realtor, but he has no brand, no recognition in this new town, but he bought a house in a nice area and he's like, oh, I want to work this area. So what does he do to get 5 listings in 3 months in his brand new neighborhood? He took that letter that I just showed you and he mailed it every 2 weeks to people who own their homes for 5 years or more, okay? Now, I don't know how he got that list. It might have been Remind. I think it was actually his MLS that did that. There are a number of services where you can get a list of homeowners with equity, right? That's what that is. Then he would mail that letter out for one listing or another every 2 weeks. And he would get leads. So what did he do with those leads? Once they opted in on the home valuation landing page, he would consistently hit them up every week with phone calls, bomb messages via email, letters left in the mail, and letters left at the door every week, right? This is just a really awesome formula for getting listings. Not just capturing listing leads, but getting listing contracts. So I definitely want to make sure that you guys understand that. And that letter is generated automatically. Now, the e-flyer for your database, I definitely want to make sure you're all using this with a caveat that if you're somebody with 100, or a couple hundred or a couple thousand leads in your CRM, and they're just not picking up the phone all day long and calling you, copy this and put it inside of your database. Blast it out through your CRM, because it's going to say we got an open house. If I click on that picture or I click on that link, I'm going to become a buyer lead. But then again, like the print flyer, when the home is sold, it's going to affect your home value. So click there, and that's what's going to get the seller leads. These links get clicked on a lot. Do you recognize these? These are my lead gen links that I showed you early on the setup. So out of the flyer, I can also say, hey, let's look at Lafayette homes under 800K, right? And I land on my website. So you're able to take the tools that we're creating and point them to the places where you want people to go, right? So that's on the listing marketing side. There's also a section here that says ads, and this is a very powerful place for listings to leads. And frankly, for real estate marketing, this is just a very powerful page. Again, I want to repeat, we have Facebook software behind this page. And so we make it really easy to run an ad. So let's create a listing ad first. And I showed you on the other page how to create an ad for an open house. Let's do something that's sold. We're going to leave it on lead ads, always leave it there. You get pre-populated name, email, and phone number. And our clients, if you like leads with phone numbers, that's how you do it. Leave it on lead ads. So this is a sold property, right? And you'll notice that our text, we're offering an instant home value. We're not looking for buyers when it's sold. We're looking for sellers, okay? And so we're auto-populating the town. You can click publish. I do recommend though, sometimes an ad just like this, right out of the box works. But I do want to recommend that you add some information here. And the kind of information is stuff that, oddly enough, realtors don't think is very important. But actually, when you're trying to capture online leads, it's incredibly important. And let me just show you some of the data points that realtors forget to put in these things. In contract, in 5 days, right? This happens all the time. Inventory's tight. Sold, I don't know, 20K above asking. And 8 offers, 7 buyers still looking. Like, I see realtors copy and paste really colorful things on Facebook when they're trying to share that their home is sold. And that's good because you're telling people that you know how to sell a home. But if you want somebody to respond to it, you got to put some meat on it. And if people are thinking of selling their homes and you can get them money above asking, or you can do it quickly in 5 days, or you got a stack of buyers ready to buy, that's important information that you want to share in your ad. It will get more people to click, right? Obviously, you want those numbers to be accurate. But that is running a sold ad through our system, getting leads with instant email, pre-populated email, name and phone number, right? Now, over here on the far right, it says create a PDF report ad. And there are 25 PDF reports for sellers. There are also 25 PDF reports for buyers. So you can decide who you want to talk to. I'm going to just click create an ad for the 12 mistakes to avoid, right? There's all kinds of topics. You can use these all over the country. When somebody responds to this ad, though, we give them a link to download the report. So you don't have to do anything. For them to download the report, you have to, they have to give you their contact information, right? We won't give them the report without it. So a great way of getting seller leads is using one of the 25 seller leads that you see. Now, you can tell it's pretty easy to create ads. I've created a few. If you've ever created ads on Facebook, you know it's a lot more complicated than that. So let me show you something additional that you should definitely be taking advantage of. And again, click on advanced options, click on create new form, then click on form questions and add this question, especially if your ad is targeting sellers, targeting homeowners. You just click create form. What is your time frame to sell, right? What that means is it's going to give you a drop down, 1 to 3 months, 3 to 6 months, and more than 6 months. If somebody responds that they want to sell their home in less than 3 months, you absolutely need to start getting really hot and heavy about converting that lead. And if you don't know how to do that, I recommend you take Chris's cues here. This right here, that's what you need to do. If you got a better way of converting seller leads, please put it in the Mastermind group. I would love to see that. But this is actually one of the best recipes I've seen, the best formulas that anybody can use. Is there work involved? You bet you. Are you going to get paid? When you sell the house, you're going to get paid, right? So definitely use that, right? And then you can also create landing page ads. So let's go back to the ads page. The middle button says create a landing page. We create a home valuation landing page, new construction, and down payer assistance. Excuse me. So I'm going to click on new construction and click create an ad. And this is going to capture buyer leads who are interested in new construction. Okay. You just type in the name of the town, and click advanced options. Now, I'm going to show you something else, and that is retargeting. Does anybody know what retargeting is? It's a very powerful system. If you look at my last call in the Mastermind Group, you'll see that I talk about this at length, so I'm not going to go in length today about it. But this is how you run ads in front of your old leads as well as your target market. So let me type here Lafayette, because I'm going to target people that live around Lafayette. But I also want to target my old leads, right? Maybe I've uploaded a list of my old Zillow leads or my CRM leads. That's what retargeting is about, so that you can work on those old. And also, when you turn on retargeting in our system, we create an L2L file in your personal Facebook account, in your ad manager. And that means any lead you capture, we're going to put in there. And when you use that target, we're going to stay in front. These ads are going to go in front of those people as well. So definitely use retargeting, right? Now, there is a whole section for landing pages. I just mentioned we create 3 automatically: free home value, down payer assistance, and new construction. But you can create unlimited landing pages. And I definitely recommend that you have landing pages for every one of your farm markets for home value, okay? And that you market into that with those tools. So that's kind of what we do. We do a lot of other things. We've got bots for Facebook ads. We've got follow-ups that are coming out in the next couple months. There's a library here which has our PDF reports, and you can add other photos and stuff like that there. But that's really the bulk of it. You need to use those top tools that I mentioned on the listing side and run ads. Every week, this is what you need to do. Run one listing ad and use our other tools, and just keep doing this, and it will turn into more business. So we've talked about how to set up the profile. We've talked about the listing side and the ad side. Are there any questions of what we talked about today? And I will point out, your leads are here. I don't see any questions, so please let me know if you've got some. But these are the leads, so all your leads get emailed automatically. I showed you earlier how to configure your CRM, but also they're just going to sit right here. You can export them later, but you don't even need to if you have your CRM connected. Now, I want to point out one more thing, because I talked about retargeting, but when you come to the ads page, it will not look like this. Come here for the first time, it's going to have a big button that says connect to Facebook. Click that button. It'll say continue as you, say yes, and the next page will be what business page, and you can click one or many business pages. And then at that point, it's going to bring you right back here, but all you'll see is these 3 green buttons. You'll also see, if you can see this green box that says, sync with Facebook, you're going to see a yellow box sitting right around here. And that box is going to say, accept the custom audience terms. And that's going to take you to Facebook, accept those terms, refresh this page, and then click the button that says turn on retargeting, right? That way you can take advantage of all the automation of retargeting and using custom audiences. And you definitely want to do that. You definitely want to be running ads. And if you want to convert leads, you want to turn on retargeting, okay? So that's kind of it. Run one ad a week minimally, 2 or 3 if you got more business, and use those other tools that I showed you that are on the listing side, the top 5 or 6 tools for every listing. And also don't forget to update your statuses, just in case your MLS doesn't do this. Coming soon, just listed, under contract, pending, or just sold. The later stage statuses are designed to capture more listing leads. So if you want more listings, definitely market your stuff when it's sold or pending, okay? So are there any other questions for today? I want to remind you, I'll wait here for a moment if there are questions. Please get in the Mastermind group. Go into your account, and there is a page here that says support. And just in this box on the left, say, please add me to the Mastermind group, and they will know what to do from there. Okay? This call is being recorded, and this recording will be in the Mastermind group in the next couple hours. All right? So that's my story for today, everybody. Any questions? Well, I don't see anything. So thanks for being with me today. Have a great Thanksgiving, and get in the Mastermind group. Use the tools I showed you today. They will impact your business on the upside. And I didn't even show you half the platform, but if you use those tools that I showed you today, that's going to help increase your business. All right. So keep safe, everybody. Thanks for joining me, and we will talk soon. Bye-bye.